Hey Popcorn Junkies, how are you? This is a slightly delayed reaction to a trailer to a show that you'll have clicked on the title or on the thumbnail, so you know what it is. This is a trailer reaction to Squid Game 2. Squid Game, what did you like about Squid Game? Tell us below. What was your favourite aspect of it? I've always been a fan, or we've always been a fan of South Korean film, South Korean cinema, well, whether it be films like Parasite or whether it be films like Train to Busan or series like this. There's Old Boy way back in the day. There's a kind of rich cinematic heritage to South Korean cinema. It's you know, it can be stylish, it can be slick. The cultural differences allow for a kind of skewing of kind of what pertains to horror, what pertains to love. They're very, very slick and stylistic, often nihilist. I mean, there's a lot of kind of nihilist literature, isn't there, that comes out of South Korea. Our girls love the kind of dark, bleak stories that come out about sort of, and yet weirdly, South Korea is also the sort of origin of these, what they call K-pop bands and stuff like that. So extreme sort of pop, plastic, corporate, mass-produced stuff, and also extraordinarily classy, clever, sophisticated storytelling. Now, Squid Game was one of those things that went viral. I think it still sits, doesn't it, as one of Netflix's highest performing shows or series. And then they did Squid Game, the reality show, which I have to say I got hooked into, and it was an incredibly bold and brave and effective kind of reskinning of a dramatic kind of series into game format form, and one really cared. I mean, admittedly, they didn't actually kill the people in it. I mean, the whole idea isn't a particularly new one. I mean, when Squid Game first came out, I remember thinking, well, this is the Hunger Games, isn't it? Essentially, this is the Hunger Games. Again, it's put upon people in financial distress or financially compromised in Squid Game. It's people who are kind of in districts and who are essentially slaves, if you like, in the Hunger Games. So this idea of fighting for your survival and building loyalties and then deciding at what point to kind of kill someone or betray them or throw them under the bus, quite literally. Well, we've got season 2 coming in, and all I understand going into watching this trailer is that in season 2, Ji-hun, who was the main character, played brilliantly by Lee Jung-jae, he's back, and he vowed revenge at the end of season 1. Am I imagining it, or did I remember at the end of the first season of Squid Game, did it end up in this strange sort of netherworld of dark, twisted, masked controllers who were almost like sort of at masked balls eating people? Or am I conflating this with The Platform? I think I might be. I think I might have got my two nihilist, bleak, apocalyptic kind of films and series confused. Anyway, season 2. Big question here is, can you recreate the magic of the first season? I think you can. I think what you have to try and do for a second season is not fall foul of what other series I feel do fall foul of, such as The Bear, which is self-consciously trying to redo what you did well in the first season. I think what they need to try and do here is not recreate exactly the same setup, but give us something that's familiar, because of course we like the kind of, we kind of like the setup, we like the kind of the cut of its jib, if you like, the costumes, the game format and all that, the sense of being trapped and wanting to kind of aspire to wealth and all that kind of stuff. We want all of that. But do we want to be as claustrophobically in the game as we were in the first season? So it's a tricky one. How do you keep it successful? How does it deliver the very same thing that we got from the first, because that's what we're all after, but how does it move on? This is forever the perennial problem of the second album, if you like, of streaming or series and things like that. But without further ado, let's check it out.
스마일!
이 자리에 오신 여러분을 진심으로 환영합니다. 여러분들은 매 게임이 끝날 때마다 투표를 통해 그때까지 적립된 상금을 가지고 이곳을 나가실 수 있습니다.
저건 뭐야?
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
어라!
뭐야?
너한테 벌이 앉았어.
헐, 다 움직였어.
더 큰 상금을 위해 게임을 계속할지 아니면 여기서 중단할지는 전적으로 여러분 결정에 달려 있습니다.
지금 이러면 안 됩니다. 지금 당장 여기서 나가야 됩니다.
당신 뭐야?
여기 관계자야? 해봤어요! 이러다 정말 다 죽어요!
그런 놈이 여길 왜 다시 기어 들어와? 한 판 더!
한 판 더!
Landing on Boxing Day. Oh my God, that looked actually quite good. And it did exactly the thing I just said it needed to somehow do, which is be in the game and deliver us all the familiarity of that, because we became so attached to them, didn't we? And then, so you're parked within it. His narrative journey is he's obviously seeking revenge, but it's interesting, isn't it? Because all the others who are in there with him are going to be thinking, you're not here for revenge. Why are you back if it's so dangerous? You wouldn't be back if it's so dangerous. So his very presence there makes it something that they can't believe. But also they're probably thinking you're just greedy. Because, of course, one of the things I did like about it as well is it speaks to that underlying gambling aspect of modern day society. Thank God I've never been drawn to gambling. But this idea of gambling with your life or gambling for more money, the steps that you're willing to take to try and risk everything about you, your life, and others around you. Wasn't it brilliant, the moment where we're once again in the fake outdoors? You think it's outdoors with the sunlight, but it's actually inside. I love that confusion and inversion of daylight and nighttime, interior, exterior. And then you've got that doll with its eye, and she gets popped between the eye bubbles. And that's the thing that's great about a lot of Korean films and series, actually, is they're willing to go where a lot of other sort of Western shows don't. You know, they'll kill them. You'll die. You know, you've got all the motifs, you've got all the colours, you've got all the costumes, you've got the music, you've got the games. But obviously our thread and our narrative journey is going to be different with him. Are you excited about it? Will you be watching? Are you as excited as you were with the first one? Because the first one was a sleeper hit. So in a weird way, there's more joy in looking forward to this one, because we didn't know the first one was going to be so good, so we didn't have the joy of looking forward to it. So in a weird way, this functions like a really nice Christmas present, which I've just looked at.